in the week.
Well, U.S. Congresswoman Jackie Speier of California was among a group of House Democrats who met with Vice President Biden today. She herself is a shooting victim. And David Corn is Washington Bureau Chief for Mother Jones and an MSNBC political analyst. Congresswoman, thank you for joining us. What can you tell us on the record tonight about what might be in the Vice President's package of proposals?
I think what you heard the President say will certainly be in that package. He also, Vice President Biden, indicated that there were some 19 areas that he was able to identify that the President could take action on through executive order. He didn't go into detail on what they might be, but suffice it to say that there will be some considered that will not require congressional action. The Vice President did a great job of meeting with 270 people representing every imaginable interest on this issue, and I think it's the most comprehensive look at guns in probably a generation coming from the White House.
Well, you represent an area of the country out on the coast and just south of San Francisco, and more liberal than the rest of the country, but in this big heartland of our country, right really in the middle, it's so pro-gun rights. What do you think has the best chance of passing the Congress in both houses, Republican and Democrat?
I think a universal background check is absolutely imperative. 40% of the guns that are purchased in this country right now do not go through that background check, either because they're at local gun shows or personal sales, private sales. So the fact that even that database we have does not include persons who are on the terror watch list, or persons who are fugitives from the law, or who are stalkers. I think it's given us all reason to pause and think, what are we doing here? At the very least, we have to have a comprehensive background check.
David, studying politics in the way you study it, what's the best bet? I think it is background checks. Yeah. And I think it probably has more influence than, say, the high magazines, the high-capacity magazines, because it really does keep bad people away from guns, potentially.
Yeah, if you can do it, because, just getting the data available on, if you want to include people with mental difficulties and criminal checks. I mean, the NRA has opposed this time and time again. They don't want a database because they don't want these background checks. I mean,
why are they against them?
Because they don't want any limitations on people to buy guns, including people who shouldn't be able to buy guns. I mean, 46%, as the Congresswoman just said, can buy guns without having to go through a background check, because they go to gun shows, they buy online, or they buy from the buddy down the street or some guy they met in the bar 5 minutes ago. And the NRA has consistently fought against doing anything about those sort of gun sales. Now, I think this is good.
Why don't they sell guns in bars? I mean, there is a point where any reasonable person says, no, don't sell guns in bar rooms, tap rooms.
Now, a big issue that the Congresswoman and the Vice President, everyone has to take into account is, if you look back in '94, when Bill Clinton got the ban on assault weapons through, he did that as part of a big crime bill with a lot of stuff that conservatives wanted, like expanding the death penalty. If you do this, just bit by bit, or just if it's a bill just about gun safety or gun violence prevention, it may be harder to get through.
Well, let me ask the Congresswoman we have her now. Do you think we can get something through the Congress that doesn't get encased in some big right, center, left package, which includes some things liberals won't like?
Well, I think anything that does pass is going to have something appealing to the right and to the left. And certainly the interest of those who are hunters in terms of making sure that the conservation dollars are there so that there's plenty of ducks to be shot at has appeal as well. So I think we've got to make very clear to the American people, though, we're not talking about taking guns away from anyone. The Second Amendment is very clear. The Heller Supreme Court decision made it very clear. We're not talking about those who are hunters and who use it for recreation, or those who keep them in their homes for personal safety. We're talking about these guns that massively destroy people and that are assault weapons for military action.
Well said. Do you think we can do it?
I hope so. I hope, Bill Clinton was smart last time. He surrounded himself with cops and public safety advocates and built a big coalition, another type that the Congresswoman would want to be part of. You got to, keep the pressure on and make this really a neighborhood issue with people other than just the people who care about gun control leading the charge.
Okay, thank you so much. Congresswoman Jackie Speier, thank you. My wife started in politics. Well, she ended in politics, too, working for Pete McCloskey, who's become more liberal than any of us at this table now. Thank you.
It's a great friend.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman. Up next.